Welcome in my channel, The Parenting Revolution. I am Christophe Rank, author of several books about parenting, education, and the meaning of life. And in this 13th video dedicated to the Parenting Revolution concept, I wanted to speak about the 9 principles of natural education that has been drawn from my 30 years of parenting, raising 11 children born across 4 continents and raised close to nature and their own nature. So today I wanted to detail a little bit each of these 9 principles presented in my last book, Parenting the New World, Giving Birth to a Thriving Humanity, and in the third part of the book dedicated to how to give birth to thriving humanity, section B is dedicated to applying the 9 principles of natural education. They are represented in this drawing as well. A very nice illustration from an illustrator here living in Samaipata, near where we are. So in this book, I speak first about the respect of the 2 dimensions of human nature. The first principle is to respect our spiritual part and our physical part, the body, So we have these 2 dimensions as human beings. We are not plants, animals, or minerals. We are human beings, and many, for instance, near-to-death experiences or out-of-body experiences help us to be aware that we are not our body, but we are embodied. So we are spiritual beings living a human experience. But to respect these 2 dimensions, I think that parents should be aware of that reality and take that into account in their relationship to their children. This is the first principle. There are many consequences detailed in my book. Then the second principle of natural education is to balance safety and freedom. Children, they need both safety to flourish, to grow with an inner peace and self-confidence. They need safety, but not overprotecting them. So they need as well freedom. So the challenge for parents is to create a favorable context, balancing the safety aspect of what they need and the freedom they deserve to express their own nature. This is what I detail in my book as well, the second principle. The third principle of natural education is the respect as well, or the adaptation. We need to adapt to youth's natural development. There are phases of natural development of the child. Now it starts in the womb, then there's the birth process, then the early childhood, or the infant first, the baby, then the early childhood from walk, until the change of teeth, and then you have childhood between 7 and 14, roughly, or 12 for girls, before puberty. And then you enter adolescence until you reach the adult stage, when the brain ends to develop, and so it's early adulthood, So these are all the steps, natural steps we can follow by biological changes, So it's really objective, and it goes with particular development of the physical, the energetical, the emotional, the mental, and the spiritual part of a human being. So this is the third principle of education, to respect these different steps of youth natural development. The fourth principle of natural education is the nature-based learnings. Children, they deserve to learn first from creation, from the creation they belong to, not from society, but they deserve to become aware and integrate their belonging to this creation of the Creator. We are not creating our own bodies, we didn't create our planet and life on our planet. We belong to that reality, despite the mind tends to disconnect us or to allow us to separate us from that reality. But we are part of that reality. But thanks to the mind, we can make a step back and contemplate that reality of our belonging to creation. And children, they deserve and they need to integrate that reality. I call it the naturalization of a child. They need to appropriate, they belong to nature. This is the fourth principle. Then the consequence of that is the fifth principle, is that you can, thanks to the learnings coming from nature, integrate what is innocuity, what is life and death, the limits between the life of a butterfly, for instance, and its death. So you will appropriate what is life and why it's so important to respect life and your own life, not put you in danger if you climb a tree and not fall from the tree because you can injure yourself, harm yourself, or die, So the children, they can learn harmlessness for themselves, others, and the planet. And it's a learning coming from nature. We can help with that, but the advantage of nature is that it teaches the laws of life, of nature, of our condition as human beings, as mortal. We are not immortal beings. We can die, So this is what children can learn and integrate, so that we form adults that will have this understanding of the preciousness of life, of their own life and life on our planet. So what was the fifth principle? The sixth principle is self-discovery. So it's very important for parents to create a favorable context for children to discover themselves. With the support of nature, of a natural environment, with the freedom children have, with the possibilities to understand the limits of death and life, and as well the possibility to choose what they prefer the most. So this is the basic, the foundation of discovering yourself, is to be able to decide of your acts. When the children, they feel free enough to take initiative. And this is what we have to foster as parents, to encourage children take decision for themselves, and it helps them discover themselves. And the consequence of that is that we need, and it's the seventh principle of natural education, we need as parents of adults to filter current culture. So we need to filter the culture available, all the human inventions, creations, projections, what is the inheritance we have from past generation until now, all of things around, this background, for instance, or this material things, my clothes, etc. This phone I registered record with, all these things we need to filter according to the age of the child. There's many things about sexuality, adolescence, etc. So to limit the children, they don't have that. They are children, The puberty didn't happen yet, so they need to live as human beings, but as child with no gender. They live just their life like their plants, the animals and adults, etc. But it's not linked to reproduction. It's not yet the case. But they as well need to be protected from violence. They don't need violence, it's fair. There's enough of that. So they just need to be protected and receive from the culture that what will serve their self-discovery first. Now they need to discover themselves, so obviously we offer them possibilities to experience. In my experience family journey, we applied the Maria Montessori principles of real activity. So we invited our children to cook with us, to garden with us, to make construction or manual work with us, etc. All basic things that we can involve the children in, so that they could discover our language, our habits, our beliefs, our preferences, etc., our character. And the children, they appropriate just enough from the culture that what serves them, So it's very important for parents to have children evolving in a favorable context for their self-discovery, so that from the culture we will be able to extract and propose to the children what serves them. It's not about making children busy, having many activities, the school, and then after the school you have activities and you are always busy. Because the children, they need free time. They need time with nothing to do else than what they choose. That could be simply thinking or integrating things or resting. That could be to be active, but starting from themselves, it should be like that. And so we progressively increase the range of possibilities for them coming from the society. But I think it's better to adapt and to focus on what corresponds to our children. They could be technical, they could be artists, they could be more sport, a boy or girl, they could be more intellectual and need books, they could be more manual, practical and need always something to do, etc. So we have to discover our children, and at the same time they discover themselves and provide from the culture what could serve them. Now this is the principle, the seventh principle of natural education. The eighth principle of natural education that it links to these two former principle is the ikigai living. So once the children they have possibilities to discover what they love the most, and we bring to them components of the culture of the world, they can more and more express and live their reason to be. Ikigai is a Japanese word expressing this idea that you have a purpose. You are here, you are born with a purpose, and your purpose is linked to your joy. Your joy is not the same for all children. Some children could be very joyful cooking, making a cake. Others could be joyful listening music or contemplating flowers or being with others, or doing small things in their bedroom, and in fact just dreaming and bringing their dreams in their games, you know. So it depends on the children, but they deserve to live their ikigai. This is for me, according to me, a birthright. All child on earth should be able to encounter a favorable context created by former previous generations that allow them to live according to their essence, according to their nature, and express their reason to be, their ikigai. And the ninth principle of natural education is to welcome the school of life. Because life is a school. We don't go to school only for 10 years, I would say, and then it's finished, we will not learn. No, it's wrong. We start learning from birth and even before, because we can listen to music or feel vibration within the womb. And then birth is also a school, is a learning, it's an education. The transition of birth, you know, you change of way to breath and to oxygen the body and to feed yourself, and you have to control your temperature and adapt your senses to all the possibilities of perception, of direct perception, or it's an education. And there are steps of learning all along our life. So our life is our education as well, and being open to welcome that is part of the principles of natural education. I tried to clarify in my last book, Parenting the New World, Giving Birth to a Thriving Humanity. So it's very important, and it's a foundation for the parenting revolution.